Hello and welcome to #Leadership What's on Your Mind. My name's Stuart Wellington, I'm your host, and this month we are going back to the big hitters that I've had and have managed to attract onto the podcast, and they share their amazing stories and their amazing expertise on leadership and adding value to your leadership journey. So I'm going to tell you the 4 people by sharing a minute clip of each of them. Hope you enjoy.
I started with WD-40 in 1987. Prior to that, I'd had leadership roles in some other organisations. But when I moved to the United States in 1994 and then got the opportunity to lead the company, something became very clear to me. And the first thing that became very clear to me were the 3 most important words I've ever learned in my life. And those 3 words are, I don't know. And getting comfortable with I don't know was really a pivot for me. And back then the company was about a quarter of the size in revenue than it is now, and about 10% of its value, because we're a public company. And we had a dream. We had a dream to take the blue and yellow can with a little red top to the world. At that time, about 80% of our business was in the United States. And I went, oh dear, how do you do that? So I looked around and I went back to school. I went to the University of San Diego.
Everyone's busy being busy. There's no kind of liquid thinking outside the box. And it's like, how do you get people to engage in that type of thinking?
It has to be a very deliberate choice. A metaphor I sometimes use is that, and this is appropriate given my co-host Jake was in the sport for a long time, but the fastest sport in the world is Formula One, and yet whoever wins Formula One is decided by who manages to stop most efficiently. So it's defined by your pit stops, not how fast you go. It's how efficiently you can plan your brakes. And I almost think you need to give yourself regular time just to stop, think and reflect. Get away from the phone, get away from social media, get away from all those other demands, and actually just have time to think about thinking. Because like you say, we're often really busy doing, but I think just enforcing time to just put your foot on the ball.
Where do you think your leadership journey started? Was it before you went into business? Was it during the military days? Was it even before then at Scouts? Where do you think that started?
Well, you would call it leadership. In those early days, of course, I had nobody to lead, but I think it's about you're actually questioning what you're doing. Why are we here? What is happening? Why are we not doing this? Or can we do something different? Sometimes it's challenging the leadership that you might say you learn by challenging that you need leadership. You need somebody to sort of, not so much direct you, but give you support. Basically, you don't want somebody to tell you what to do all the time. What you need is somebody to ask you to do something, to sort of guide you in a direction, or allow you to go and be there if you need that help.
As we're in the midst of this big sea change in how humans interact, and it's fundamentally away from this industrial age model and to a newer model. And there are specific things about why the industrial age organization was designed the way it was to achieve what they needed to do, which are no longer relevant or helpful. Yeah, so I've got good and bad images coming to mind. I've got the thing that we're trying to move away from, which is the boss standing there telling people what to do. And unfortunately, I think this is what a lot of people imagine when they think of the word leadership. Now, I am trying to dissociate the word leadership with the idea of telling people what to do. When you tell a team what to do, you're maybe an achiever, an accomplisher, but I'm no longer associating that with the word leadership. Leadership to me means, what does a team do without you?
Okay, so as you can see, phenomenal stories, phenomenal people, and the aim, as ever, is to add value to your leadership journey. So if that hasn't whetted your appetite already, go and hit the YouTube channel, go and hit your podcast provider, and go and check those episodes out. Have a great month. Speak to you soon. Bye.